Hello everyone and welcome back to another Godzilla Battleline video, and today I have for you not a first of the season unit review. Those will be coming in the subsequent days. This is a pretty important topic that we've talked about a lot on the channel, and I think it's worth repeating again. And I know, you guys might not like the videos where I just show you my graphics or the infographics or the spreadsheets, but this is important information. Some of this information separates the good Battleline players from the bad Battleline players, so I think it's very important. First off, this link, or the link to this entire sheet and document, is going to be in the description of this video. It's also in the link to my Discord. We compile all of the information pretty much exclusively in my Discord. Next, I'm not talking about any of the characters in particular regarding their attack boosts and stuff like that, or buffs and nerfs. I'm specifically wanting to talk about the brand new addition of the speeds and unit attack ranges to the game. Now, for those of you who don't know, for the longest time in Godzilla Battleline, character speeds and ranges were quantified as, like, the range was like short, wide, medium, stuff like that, and then the speed was like fast, the range was close, short, medium, long. The searches is wide and stuff like that, but those I think also have numbers now. I should probably track the search radiuses as well. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's not important right now. The speeds were fast, medium, and slow. Now we have quantifiable numbers to show us, at least according to the devs, what the characters who have the best speeds are, the best attack ranges, the best attacks on leaders, and the best ranges for effects as well. So I just wanted to go through some of the top characters in each category because I thought this was fun. It was fun compiling all the information, putting on the sheet. I think I got everyone. If you look at the sheet and there's someone I missed, let me know and I'll get them added. But yeah, so let's just talk about it. We'll start with speed first. I'm a little bit obscuring it, but I'm not enough so we can see the top 5. The fastest unit in the game is not even a playable monster. It is the crystal that comes out of the Fukuoka Space Godzilla ability. The one that fires and it goes across the map. That is a base speed of 28. I do not think there's anything in the game that you can do at this moment to buff the speed of the crystal in particular, but there are things you can do to buff the speeds of the other characters in the game, such as Fire Rodan boosts or leader abilities. This chart does not take into account any of that. It's just base speed. So the fastest unit in the game, or deployable unit, I guess, is the Fukuoka Crystal. The fastest actual character in the game is Rodan 64 with a 26 in speed. I thought that this was not the case. I thought that Gigan 72 for sure was going to be the fastest character. He's short on Rodan by 2, but he is tied with Stealth Bomber. So Gigan and Stealth Bomber occupy the top 3. So the top 3 fastest units are the Fukuoka Crystal number 1, Rodan 64 at number 2, and then Gigan 72 and Stealth Bomber are tied for 3rd place. Then we get Manila with a base speed of 22, and then we get Kamacuras, Fire Rodan, Ava 02 Beast Form, Monster X, and the Kamacuras Swarm all coming in with 20s in their speed for 5th place and fastest units in the game. I didn't even know that, like, they were traveling at the fastest speed. I just assumed that they all had, like, whatever speed. I assumed the Fire Rodan was faster. But this is also, again, not including that 30%. If you wanted to find this actual calculation, you'd probably just do, like, what, 20 times 0.3, and I guess that would be the boost. But then we have everyone else here. It's not super important, but I think it is fun to mention that characters with the least amount of speed down here is -1 Ginza, Zeton, Shin Godzilla 3rd Form, and Jet Jaguar 73 are all classified as having 0 movement speed. However, -1 Ginza does move when overtime happens and the map gets closer and closer together. Ginza will move, but that speed isn't actually documented on the sheet. It's incredibly slow, though, so I do not think it's going to get any higher than, like, the 5 marker here. It's incredibly slow. But there are so many characters here that are, like, way slower than you would think. And so the lowest speed that we have is 0, but realistically, it's... Bylante, Flower Form, slowest unit in the game at a 2 speed. We go all the way up here for Go Crystal at 28. So nothing above 30 and nothing at 1, but we have a few things at 0 and one thing at 2. So everything in between, it's alright, not super important, but it is interesting to see everyone's speeds comparable to each other. And now when you say, like, or not when you say, when people are like, oh, make sure when you push in the game, all of your characters are, like, kind of moving together, or like, oh, this character moves super fast, it's hard to make a push around them. Here you go. Now you can see the speed of the characters. Like, oh, okay, I really want to make a push with Godzilla 54 Tokyo. One of the biggest complaints for him was that he moved really fast. Well, guess what? 1000-Year Dragon Ghidorah has the same speed. Jet Jaguar Singular Point has that same speed. Final Wars Godzilla is the same speed. And the 2019 Ghidorah also has the same speed. Let me change that capital right there. So now you know there's some units there that have similar speeds. If you deploy them at the right times, maybe they'll keep up with that particular Godzilla, which I like a lot. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that the new Destroyer as well, it's Dab, if we control F, Destroyer Dab is an 18. So he's just shy. He's tied for what, 7th place? He's tied with Destroyer Flying Form, Gigan 04, Mothra Imago, Mega Gearus, and Batra Imago for 7th place. The new Destroyer is an 18 in speed, which is interesting. He's also super fast. Next, talk about unit attack range. This is going to come as no surprise. The speed is a little harder to eyeball, harder to calculate the movement speeds of characters because you're just kind of judging it by eye. At least with unit range, you can see how far away a unit is attacking from. So the top 5 shouldn't be any surprise to anyone. Super X is coming in at number 1 at 120 range. Zeton with 110 range. Ultima in 3rd with 100 range, but he's tied with Markolite Cannon, with also has 100 range. Manila and Mothra 2019 both have 90s, and then Super Mecha Godzilla has 85. So the top 5 is Super X, Zeton, Ultima, and Markolite are tied for 3rd, and then it goes Manila, Mothra tied for 4th, Super Mecha Godzilla tied for, or not tied, he's just decisively the 5th because no one else is at 85 speed, so, or range. Fantastic, love it. There are a couple characters at 69, nice speed, which I thought was funny, so I'll bring it up. It's Mecha King Ghidorah 91, they have the same exact speed. The new Destroyer, or range, I'm sorry, not speed, there's so much stats on this here, I'm getting confused. The same range. Mecha King Ghidorah 1991, so the pre-evolution, the new Destroyer, Kiryu, Godzilla 2001, and Monster X. So, thought that was at least really interesting. And since we're actually talking about Destroyer Dab a few times, I'm gonna bring it up as well here because you might not have realized this. If you watched my video yesterday, you might have caught it when I caught it. But if you didn't watch it, we'll just type in Chibi. The new Chibi units for Chibi Mechagodzilla and Chibi, it's Chibi Mechagodzilla and Chibi Godzilla. Their stats are listed separately, although they have very similar stats. So right here, we can see that I have Chibi Mechagodzilla as the duo unit, and then Chibi Duo Goji is the Godzilla that comes with them, and then Chibi Godzilla is the silver piece Chibi Godzilla. All the Chibis have the same speed. They're all in 8, so they're really good to pair with each other. But then if you come down to range, Chibi Godzilla, the silver one, actually has one of the lowest ranges in the game. He's tied for what? This is the 4th place for 4th lowest range. He's tied with Ava O2 Beast, the Stealth Bomber, Gigan 04. So that's a ton of, like, oh, I got an itch, really close range characters. But if we come all the way up, you can actually see that the Chibi Mecha Godzilla and Chibi Godzilla that's in the duo have different listed ranges. The Chibi Duo Godzilla is at a 70, and the Mecha Godzilla has slightly more range at 75, which makes sense because I had been noticing that he and Mogera pair really well together because Mogera will buff Mechagodzilla and Mechagodzilla will stun, and they'll both hit from the same distance outside of leader range. They make for an incredibly deadly combo. Chibi Duo Goji needs to get a little bit closer. However, I'm pretty sure once a character crosses 70 range, they are outside of most leader ranges. And we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that in a second. So if they are 70 range or lower, they are within like 90% of leader targetable ranges. If they are at 75 or I guess even 71 or higher, they're going to hit from outside of leader range. So that is super important to know. So now we have a few characters quantifiably who we can reliably know will hit outside of leader range. And it is Kiryu Kai, the Evolution, 1000 Year Dragon Ghidorah, Megalon, King Ghidorah 2019, Mechagodzilla 74, Chibi Mechagodzilla, Mogera 94, Ultraman, Godzilla Earth, The 10th Angel, Super Mechagodzilla, Mothra 2019, Manila, Marklight Cannon, Ultima, Zeton, Super X. Those are all fantastic ranges. 75, an amazing range. Most of these characters in here are currently being used and are really good, or at one point in time were like absolutely busted and are really good. Like everyone in the 75 range category or higher has been at one point like in the meta, which is really crazy. Moving on, we will go to the leader range. So this actually comes in handy with what we were just talking about. So leader range, you can see it here on the right side of the screen. Ultima has the highest leader range at 100. Well, actually, that's a lot. He's tied with Super Mechagodzilla for 100. So Ultima and Super Mechagodzilla have the highest leader range. Shout out Ultima, that's my lead. Gamera, close second place at 90. So instead of now referring to someone as having Ultima range, we can just say, hey, he's got a 90 in range. Shin Godzilla actually is at an 85 now, tied with Mogera as well for third place at 85. Fourth place is a three-way tie between Space Godzilla, Final Wars Godzilla, and Kamen Rider. And then fifth place is Orga and Godzilla Waka, who for some reason have a 79. Every character in this game, except for Waka Godzilla, that King Ghidorah, and then like the few units that have 69 like in their regular range, everything else is multiples of 5. I just think it's funny that 69, nice, and 79 are like the odd men out. But then you can see here, look at this. If we scroll down, King Ghidorah 2019, 75. 1000 Year Dragon, 75. Mechagodzilla, 75. Godzilla 21, 75. Fire Radiant, 75. Mechagodzilla 93, 75. I'm sorry, I'm realizing I'm not moving the screen down. And then -1 is at 70. So look, everything at 75 and higher, and then take a look at this range here, can hit the 75 or highers. And this is for leaders. Okay, but now, once we get to -1, who's at a 70 range, everything from 70 and lower, they can hit. Anything from 70 or higher, they cannot hit. So, look, most of the leaders cannot hit some of these units. Like, -1, Mothra Imago, right? Godzilla 89, Bylante, Gigan 72, Hedorah, Mecha King Ghidorah, Batra, Des Ghidorah, Godzilla 01, Jet Jaguar Single Point, Eva 01, Destroyer, Rainbow Mothra, Ultraman, Kong, Mecha Godzilla 21, Godzilla 99, and Kiryu Base. These are in no particular order, just pretty much the order that I scrolled through my app and put them in. So it's not like Kiryu 70 is less than Destroyer 70, it's just the order I put them in. All those characters can hit 75s or higher, but they can hit 70s and lower, and vice versa. So I thought that was really interesting. I think this is definitely going to help a lot of people understand like what goes into picking your leader, and it's definitely going to impact our leader tier list now, actually being able to see who can hit what, instead of us going, oh, you know, hey guys, turns out Ultraman hits outside of leader range. How crazy is that? Now we can go, okay, Ultraman has an 80 range. Any leader with 75 with like 80 range or less isn't going to be able to hit it, right? So super cool. I really like being able to see that. The final thing I'm going to talk about in this, because I don't have the search ranges, but I feel like now after making this video, I'm going to go back and add the search ranges, and I'll make a video for that separately. The effect ranges. So these were units that had ranges added, but were not like deployable like the regular characters. This is like the Dimension Tide, Orga's slow effect when he does his on spawn, the Super Mechagodzilla on spawn deploy. Those all got ranges as well, and those ranges are for the most part like a circle. Psychic Chorus, Dimension Tide, they're all big circles. The only one that's not is the Train Bomb, which is listed as 30 times 180. So I just put it in the 30 category. I don't really 100% understand why it is listed that way. Hopefully someone smarter at math and stuff can explain it to me. I assumed it was 180 degrees, but I don't think that's right either. I'm thinking it is 180 because instead of just covering a small area, it covers an entire width of the board. And maybe 30 is the amount that one tile is 30. I don't know. So now we at least can start measuring the tiles out. But yeah, here's the effect ranges. The Mogera on deployment. This is the 1957 Mogera when he digs and the dirt comes up. has a 15 reach. Kids, Kiryukai's deployment, and the regular Kiryu's deployment are all at 30s. I mean, Train Bomb is 30 times 180, so whatever the fuck that is, that's either at this part in the list or at the fucking top of the list. Super Mecha Godzilla's deployment, Freezing Sonde, Missile Strike, and Psychic Course all have a width of, or range of 45, or a radius, circumference, they're all circles, and then Dimension Tide at 60, and Orga Slow at 75. That's not, his is not a circle, I believe, his is a cone that comes out, so that was classified. You may be asking here, why is Ginza's Blast not here? Why is, Ghidorah 2019's Blast not here? Those didn't have numbers in the game, and we don't have an API to check the backend data. I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume they are a 100% range, because they're covering a specific area. They're not like something that is deployable anywhere. This is like, okay, Ginza's just obviously going to hit 50% of the other board, right? Like, King Ghidorah on deployment is going to hit 50% of your side of the board. So it doesn't really get a quantifiable range, because it's just the whole board, or like half of the board, so. Don't know how we calculate that. It didn't have the information either. I basically just took everything that had a quantifiable stat and put it in here. I went pretty deep. I even put in the where are they? I'll just hit the search. The AHD, whatever. Right here, I have the attack helicopters that come out of the helicopter base. I also have the M-Boss that come out of the M-Boss base. I have the Destroya, like, larvas that come out of Destroya himself. Actually, I don't. I got rid of them because they're the same stats as the regular Destroya larva silver unit. But yeah, everything in here. Anything with quantifiable speeds, attack ranges, leader ranges, and effect range, I got it in here. I feel like if I missed something, I maybe missed one thing. If you go through it and you find it, let me know. I don't think I did. I feel like I might have deleted something on accident when I was making the list. There's just so much information. But I think I have everything, and if I don't, I will add to it. And as the next season comes out and the season after, I will keep adding to it. Link to this will be in the description. If you sat through this whole rant and ramble, I really appreciate it. But this is what I got for you guys today. It took me a little while to compile all this information in the proper order, so I appreciate you sticking around, and I appreciate you using the stats, and hopefully this makes you a better Battleline player. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.